We have a Nintendo Direct coming in 2 days on Friday, which hasn't happened in recent memory, if ever, have we had a Nintendo Direct on a Friday. Extra exciting for me because if you can't tell, I'm in a hotel room right now because I was traveling for work and I'm coming back tomorrow night on Thursday night. So thank you, Nintendo. I'm just going to pretend that was for me. Appreciate it. I have nothing better to do tonight, so let's just do some predictions for the Nintendo Direct that's happening in 2 days. For starters, it's an hour long, which is wonderful. Love that. Love it. Realistic predictions. Metroid Prime 4, I think we're going to get a release date. I think it's still going to be this year. I think possibly we might get Shadow Drop Metroid Prime 2 and 3 HD. And if not Shadow Dropped, maybe a release date or scattered release dates within the next month or two. See some more Tamagotchi Life, which comes out next year. See some more Splatoon Raiders, which also I think comes out next year. I don't remember if anything was shown release date wise for that, but it's coming. So Splatoon Raiders. Maybe a little brief mention of Kirby Air Riders, maybe a character or two announced for it. That comes out this month, so very soon, but they got to give it at least a shout out, right? Mario Kart World is overdue for what I sure darn hope will be free DLC, a free content update. 200cc is kind of like the obvious that still has to be added at some point, but also new characters. I would love to see Donkey Kong Bonanza Donkey Kong as well as Pauline. Others. For now, I'll just take any update as long as it's free, as it should be, because we all paid $80 for that game, which was a lot of money, which is almost acceptable as long as they give us free content updates, but they haven't given us diddly squat yet. So I think we're gonna get a bunch of Switch 2 port / Switch 2 edition games from Switch era. I think, like Pikmin 3 and 4 make a lot of sense. Switch Sports, maybe. Not that game like visually needs a Switch 2 update, but for game chat and things like that. Well, Mario Maker with mouse controls. A bunch of different games could really benefit from mouse controls, so that could be happening. What's interesting about this being an hour long, when we have already had kind of a lot of extrapolation on other things that are already coming to the Switch 2, so it's hard to say, like, what are they going to focus on, because I just sure don't believe that there's going to be an hour's worth of first party games coming within the next 6 to 18 months. And they don't like to announce things, unless they're huge, things that are too far away development wise. They might say, we're working on the next Zelda game. I don't think they're going to do that, but that's the kind of thing that they might announce early. But the vast majority of things that have a very finite window in front of us, and we already know a lot of what's coming out in the finite window in front of us. So I don't know. It's interesting. But in terms of kind of unhinged predictions, I got those too. I want Nintendogs on my Switch 2 or on App Store. Nintendogs is a really well suited game to mobile gaming. Street Pass for the Switch 2, it's not happening. Don't get your hopes up, but I want it. I'm asking for it. New Nintendo Land, or just give me a port of Nintendo Land with game chat and game share. I'll be happy with that. My nose is really itchy. It's it's getting redder and redder as this video goes on. Personally, I don't think we're on the verge of seeing 3D Mario anytime soon. I think that's what Donkey Kong Bonanza was. Sorry, everybody. Deal with it. Zelda, on the other hand, so we have Age of Imprisonment, which is coming out pretty soon. Actually, we don't have a release date for it yet. So we'll get that. And we'll get lots of stuff about Age of Imprisonment. But I do think there's potential to hear something about the next not Age of Imprisonment Zelda. I don't think we will, because I think they're going to want Age of Imprisonment to shine. But I bet you there's one closer than you expect. Speaking of which, I also bet you there's an Animal Crossing that's closer than you expect. Again, I don't think we're going to see it this week, so I'm sorry for even bringing it up. But I do think, Animal Crossing was on my list of launch title predictions, which clearly was a little inaccurate. I was a little overly optimistic there, but I genuinely think they've been working on the current Animal Crossing title since approximately 2020. The group that worked on Animal Crossing New Horizons is not even the group that worked on the DLC for it, which means that those people, they might have been working on like Tamagotchi or Splatoon Raiders to an extent, but they might not have been. They might have been working on the new Animal Crossing. I'm coping pretty hard here. I forgot what I was about to say. We were just talking about Dragalia Lost. Put Dragalia Lost on the Switch too, please. Please, Nintendo. That game did not deserve to die, and I'm sad thinking about it right now. Square Enix will probably have some stuff to show off. They'll probably show and give a release date for, because they haven't yet, I think, Final Fantasy VII, whichever one is the first one remake that's coming out on the Switch, as well as the Octopath Zero Triangle. No, Octopath. God, I can't keep up with these RPGs. Hear me out. Street Pass, Me Plaza. I already mentioned Street Pass, but again, hear me out. Tamagotchi Life and the Metopia. They should just bring Mitomo back. Well, I'm just basically asking for things instead of predicting. If I could get an update, a Switch 2 edition of Ring Fit with a new Ring Fit that fits the new Switch 2 Joy-Cons, I think that'd be neat. Then again, it doesn't have to, because you could just use the Switch 1 Joy-Cons still. Yeah, I don't know. I'll workshop that one a little bit, but one final thing is that we'll certainly get some announcements for NSO games, most likely GameCube games. Luigi's Mansion probably will get a release date. It makes sense for October because spooky and stuff. But probably some other new games between GameCube and Game Boy, maybe GBA, that haven't come yet. Maybe Mario Party 4. Okay, tell me your predictions. Let's talk. Let's chat.